All right, good morning and welcome to Meet the Dream Team. It is June 9th and I am here today coming from Lexington, Kentucky. I am Ashley Tabb and I'm going to be the host of today's call. If you watch the recording somewhere and you're able to comment below, let us know that you watched by sharing where you're watching from. And if you're on the chat right now, if you want to tell us your name and who invited you here today, we are going to be talking to Candace today. And if you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and who lives with you.
Sure. Thanks, Ashley, for having me. It's great to be here. And thanks, Lanil, for joining us live. It's great to have you here with us as well. I am Candace Ifama Barnes. I am in Washington, D.C. I'm a native Washingtonian. Second generation, I like to say that because people always say, is anybody really from D.C.? Yes, there are lots of us that really are. And it's a great place to live despite all of the dynamic stuff that happens here. I am single and I live in a house with an older couple who is amazing, and I'm grateful to be able to rent their basement, which is great. And yeah, just great to be here. So thanks.
Awesome. I have only been to DC once. I finally got there, I guess it was a year ago. My daughter's school, they did a school trip to DC and I got to go with her. And it was kind of a crazy trip. Our bus driver had some issues and caused a big traffic jam around the circle as we came out of the cemetery. He didn't realize that the bridge had closed the day before, and so our guide had told him to get on the bridge, and so he was going, it was a one-way bridge, so he was going, traffic was coming at us, so then he tried to back up. It was crazy. And then later, another day, he sideswiped a car. So it was an interesting experience to say the least, but we loved all the touring and getting to see DC, and it was amazing to go with her. She's 12 now, and she still talks about that trip. And so I really hope that my younger daughter, who is 7, she just finished first grade, I'm hoping that they'll still have the trip in 5th grade because they're talking about not doing it anymore. And it was a really well received, well attended trip. Like we took, I think, 3 or 4 buses, charter buses. So it was a really great program. So I hope they continue that. But
Yeah, I
that is
hope they
really
will. DC is
awesome.
amazing. There's so much to do here. One of the things that I love about it here, even though I don't take nearly enough advantage of it, is that you can do literally everything here for free. The zoo, all the museums, all the monuments, all of that stuff is free because of our tax dollars, which is great. And there's so much to see and take advantage of. I mean, it's impossible, I don't think, to ever get caught up on all there is. So I do hope you all get to come back.
Yes, well, and if we don't come back with the school, I think our family will just take a trip there too in a few years. So,
Cool.
yeah. Well, I have been doing Beachbody programs for over 6 years now. I just finished my second round of 10 rounds. And this week, I'm doing Shaun T week because I really needed to get back to cardio, and his inspiration is just amazing. And right now I just felt like I really needed those words that he gives during the workouts. So how long have you been doing Beachbody programs, and which ones have you started with?
So I did my first Beachbody program in 2014, which was 21 Day Fix. And I did 3 rounds of it, and it was hugely successful. And then I kind of dipped away and didn't really stay involved. I bought a bunch of stuff, and I was signed up as a discount coach at that time with some fantasy of working the business, but never really dove into what that meant. And hadn't done kind of the personal development that has allowed me now to realize how, regardless of what I'm getting from anybody else, if it is to be, it's up to me. So that's jumping ahead of your question. But so anyway, did 21 Day Fix, did 3 rounds of it. And in the middle of April, April 13th, I started T25 just randomly. One of my walking buddies was like, I'm starting T25 next week. Okay, I'll do that. Now, what was I thinking? I had never done T25. I had the DVDs for 6 years and they literally were collecting dust. But I said, okay, well, let's do it. And so I dove in, and within a couple of days, I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this. And a week later, signed up as a coach. And so now I am on week 9, did the first 5 weeks, which is T25 is broken up into 3 different programs. And so I'm in the 4th week of the 2nd phase of T25. And it's been amazing. It really has. Like you said, Shanti is just great. And I love it that in 25 minutes, I am like had a full workout. And the second phase of T25 does involve some resistance training with weights, which has been really fun too. And I'm really excited to be connected to the community and to be working out and just engaged again. This week, to be honest, I've had a little bit of a dip, so I haven't been working out as consistently as I did previously to now. So I've been like, okay, honey, what is that about? I'm not beating myself up, but I'm paying attention. I do have a commitment that I don't miss 2 days in a row because I know that that's a slippery slope. So even if I don't do a day, I make sure that the next day I get back in. But the first 7 weeks, I did it 6 days a week. And so I want to get back to that because it just makes a huge difference. That was a long answer. Sorry.
No, that's okay. No, I feel the same way. I mean, I know I don't have to work out 7 days a week, but I am just a girl of her routine and love to have the schedule. I don't have to get up at 5 o'clock every single morning. Well, I sort of do because I know the dog and my daughter are going to be up by 7. And so even on the weekends, I set my alarm for 5:30 or 5:50 so that I can have that time to myself, whether it's to respond to people, invite them to groups, or to, I always start with my gratitude statements. And so I like that routine. And so even if I'm doing like Lift 4, that's only 4 days a week, I'll pull another program. And like, even though I finished 10 rounds on Friday, I did T25 on Saturday, and I did the work on Sunday. And a lot of times I'll do more yoga or Pilates on the weekends if I'm doing one of those programs so that I can give my body some time to recover.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like having that routine because, yeah, like you said, when you go a day or two without doing something, it does become a slippery slope of not doing it, whether it's working out or eating healthy or keeping my kids on a schedule.
Yep.
So yeah, I totally get it. Now I'm doing Ultimate Portion Fix while I'm doing the workouts. Do you follow one of the nutrition plans as well?
I haven't been as consistent with that. I kind of started out with an intention around doing Ultimate Portion Fix because I know how effective it is. It's transitioned from when I did 21 Day Fix because that was just an all-in-one program then. So it's exciting that they've separated that out and made Ultimate Portion Fix something that we can use with all of the different programs. I do want to really sit down and take the time to actually go through Ultimate Portion Fix and do it the way that it's supposed to be done. I think I know how beneficial it is, but to be honest, I haven't. I do pay attention to the recommendations around what I'm supposed to be eating I did my numbers and stuff, so I know my containers. But I haven't been 100% on it, but I know it'll make a difference. I mean, I'm getting good results even without having been as strict, but I want to dive in because I know it'll make a huge difference. I definitely want to dial that in because I'm excited about the new program coming out next month, MBF, Muscle Burns Fat.
Mm-hmm.
So I think probably in the next week or so, I want to kind of get more disciplined about Ultimate Portion Fix. So I'm not trying to do both of those at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I did in the beginning. I started with just the workout. I started 6 years ago with 21 Day Fix. And my first few rounds was really focused on just getting myself to do the workouts every single day. And I changed a few things with my nutrition. I was eating a lot of 100-calorie packs as my snacks and still being hungry. And so I started looking into portion control as it was written with 21 Day Fix and found little things to change, but didn't dive real deep. And I do think that it's awesome that Autumn has taken all the questions that she's received over the last 5 or 6 years and created this new package of Ultimate Portion Fix and the 25 videos. When it first came out, I kind of thought, well, I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been watching her videos on YouTube. What else can I learn from buying this and watching it? And then I was like, well, like you don't go to school for just 1 year, and you don't take the exact same class every year. You go and get an advanced class. You take English 101, then you take English 102, then you go to 201. And so that's kind of how I see it, like that. The portion control that came out with 21 Day Fix was the 101. And now Ultimate Portion Fix, you can either call it 102 or 201. I mean, she goes all the way back to the basics like you would in any other class, but then she really dives deeper. And there are so many little tidbits and tricks that I pick up each time I look back at those videos and each time I do it with a different group. So yeah, I highly recommend it because she is fabulous. She's one of my favorite trainers. I'm really excited. She's got a book coming out in August. I just got Alana's book on To Be Mindset. I really like her program as well. I found a few things to pull from it, but I really need the structure of the containers. I know some people really like to have the flexibility with To Be Mindset and really look at more of the mindset piece and not have to measure things. But for me, to count those containers each day really helps me, especially with, I found the carbs, only having 2 carb servings a day, whereas I was having so many more. And then like with my kids, I've started, not that I want them, I just want them to learn how to eat healthy, and they don't really eat enough. I mean, when I look at their meal plan, they're supposed to eat 6 carbs a day and like 5 proteins. Now, they don't have any issue with getting the carbs in. But when it comes to the proteins, I'm hungry. Well, go eat a protein. Go eat a yogurt or a turkey stick or some type of meat. So, and I hear people complaining so much, especially with being at home, about how their kids are always hungry and always asking for a snack. And I'm thinking, I bet you're just giving them goldfish, or they're just going, to what the easy stuff is. And I mean, my kids have the goldfish too, but then when they come back and say they're hungry, my answer always is, what'd you have? And they'll say goldfish. And I'll say, does that fill you up? And they'll say no. And I'm like, okay, what do you need to go get now? And now they're starting to really learn what things really fill them up, so that they don't eat all day because they're eating the right things.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I love about Ultimate Portion Fix, and the whole concept around it is learning just how to be able to have all the things, but to do them in a way that is balanced, but also gives me the feeling of full. And in some ways, it's even hard to eat all the containers, and it feels like too much food. But I think when I'm able to incorporate it, I can see the difference it makes. And so I want to really dial that in. And I think I'm going to make that a big part of the group that I'm about to do with folks, to to see if I can use that as a way to keep myself accountable and, you know, um, experience the effects of it.
And that's the thing I love about the groups is that they do make me more accountable.
Hmm.
The group that we have right now is a family focused. And again, it's about teaching our kids. And so that's been helpful with me to teach them. And then we've also been talking about gardening and grilling and trying new things. And I've never been a gardener. And I'm kind of slacking on that. But one of my other coaches is in the group with me, and she finally got her stuff planted. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm slacking. I really got to go and get my stuff planted.
Hmm.
And so it really does give that accountability by not only being in the group, but also running it.
Yes.
So now you said you were a coach before, and now you're coaching again, and you're starting a group. So what do you see as a difference between 5 years ago and now?
Um, as I alluded to before, it's really mindset, and it's really, I just feel like I have a different level of accountability, personal accountability, and personal responsibility. Um, Back then, I did not um, seek out well, not only did I not seek it out, but it just didn't exist in the way that it does now. The level of training and support that's available. I mean, literally, as a coach, if one chooses to be one, um, practically everything you need is available um, in support in a couple of different ways. And it's amazing the amount of YouTube videos and PDFs and things that are just out there for anybody to be able to take advantage of. And so I'm really excited about that. And then, the community, I think there's so many people that are willing to be of support, regardless of whether you're somewhere on the same team or not. I think we all really have a when any of us win, all of us win mindset now. And so, regardless of whether there's any financial relationship or I'm on your team or you're on my team, I think we all are just in it to win it with each other. And that feels great. I also know that like attracts like. So, I'm in a different place than I was before. And so, I'm attracting people who are like that, which is great. Um, and I just have a different outlook. I'm my why is different. I'm 59, and my family lives a very, very long time. My father was 93 when he passed, and many of my other elders have, lived a long time. My sister's 75, and you would never, ever know it to look at her. And so, knowing that, what I realized a couple years ago was that I had a real choice to make, and that was I could either choose to spend the next 40 years really out of shape and broke down and in pain and miserable and on a bunch of medication, or I could make a choice to eat differently and move even 30 to 45 minutes a day and have a completely different life. And I made that decision, and it's made all the difference in the world. I'm not saying it's always easy, but I do know that as I'm consistent and as I drink water and get rest, which is my biggest challenge, I really have to figure the rest thing out. Um, but as I drink water, as I get rest, as I exercise, as I do my personal development, as I just do the things daily, it makes all the difference in the world. And it excites me to think about living another 30 or 40 years now, as opposed to before where, getting up in the morning was challenging. And now it's not to the extent that it was, at least not when I go to bed.
Yeah, I have a issue with the sleep too. I said before, I usually get up at like 5 a.m. And last night, I don't think I went to bed until like 11:30
Yep.
because I work a full-time job and I get engulfed and love responding to people and looking at my groups and adding content and doing cute pictures and stuff and inviting new people. And then I have my family that I am involved with. And so, yeah, time just gets away. But I've found, I don't know, I go back and forth about the research and sleep. I found I sleep better now because I exercise and I eat well. And so, even with the 6 hours of sleep, I don't feel like I'm not rested. I know my body, like I said, on the weekends and stuff, I'll give myself a little bit of more time to sleep. And I sometimes even go to sleep earlier on the weekends. But I also went to a meditation class and learned about holding my thumb. And
Mm,
so I don't know if part of it was because I was a thumb sucker growing up and it's that soothing mechanism back to me, but I hold my thumb underneath my pillow and I used to toss and turn for like 20 minutes before I would go to sleep. And I swear, holding my thumb, now I'm out in like 5 minutes. And then I did this, I haven't done it in a few weeks, but when we first started in quarantine and at home and doing this new schedule, I was really tired. And I needed a nap or some meditation, just, 5 or 10 minutes. And I'll go into my bedroom and lay down and do that same technique of holding my thumb, turn a alarm on for 5 or 10 minutes. And I don't even get asleep, but I'll lay there and let all my thoughts go out of my brain and I can just feel it flowing out. And I get up and I am so energized. It is crazy.
yeah, I've
But
found,
I learned that through our integrative medicine department had a session, and that was like 3 years ago, maybe only two. But
wow.
after I did that, I was like, that is just crazy, just me holding my thumb.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. I have to try that. I do know when I feel an energy dip and when I take those 5 or 10 minutes, it is amazing how much more refreshed I feel. Um, so I definitely will remember to put that more in practice because I think, just anything to be more productive during the day. Because what happens for me is that I also have a full-time job and actually a part-time job, and now I decided to become a coach too. And so trying to do all three of those things and manage everything that's going on in the world right now and dealing with the global pandemic. I'm a supervisor on my full-time job and I've got 15 people now as of this week reporting to me and checking on them, making sure they're doing well. It can be a lot. And like you, I do like engaging and I love early mornings and late nights, but they just don't go together very well. So I'm going to try the 5 to 10 minute piece. And I also was a thumb sucker, so I can see how that might be helpful.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we have just a few more minutes, and I know you talked about professional development. Tell us what maybe you're reading or listening to, or some of the things that you've read that have really helped you the most.
Sure. I'm rereading The Compound Effect, which I
Mhm.
read when it first came out back in 2014. And right now, I'm not sure where that copy of the book is, but I got something from Darren Hardy that was one of those, we'll give you the book free if you pay shipping. So I just ordered another copy. So I'm rereading that, which is great, just to be reminded of the incremental effect of doing things over and over and over again. So I'm excited about that. Um, I've read a lot of the Brene Brown books. I particularly love the most recent one, Dare to Lead, where she uses her braving framework, which came from a previous book of hers that is escaping me at the moment, but it also was very good. And really, I am a voracious reader. I don't take enough time to read as much as I'd like to. But so, and I'm generally reading multiple things at the same time. I'm also reading Ask for More and a few other things, but that's kind of where my focus is. But really more about being deliberate and intentional about how I'm using my time and how I can best be of support with the people I'm working with. My boss on my full-time job, who I absolutely love, I'm very, very fortunate to both my full-time and part-time job. I have amazing people that I work with. And so, and the three kind of, those two plus the coaching business with Beachbody all inform each other. And so my boss on my full-time job just gave me a book, which I'm really excited to read, which is called Be the Boss Everybody Wants to Work For. And so I'm looking forward to diving into that because I know there'll be things in there that will also support me in being a coach. Hopefully everybody wants to work with, and also being able to develop more leaders. That's the thing that I want to do most, because ultimately it's not just about me, but it's about helping other people become the best leader they can be. And that's really a goal of mine, because we all have it. It's just a matter of drawing it out of people.
Awesome. Now, so you actually read the physical books?
I do. I don't dislike audiobooks, but I like marking stuff up and being able to go back to it and all of that kind of thing. Sometimes I read on Kindle, and that's pretty good too. But I do like physical books. I did put myself on a book fast a couple years ago because I just am a little bit addicted to buying books. And until the pandemic hit, I was going to the library a lot. But obviously we can't do that right now. But it was helpful because it helped me realize that I didn't have to necessarily buy books. But I do like and prefer reading physical books when I can.
Yeah, I love having the books too, but I do have a harder time finishing them. But I like especially ones that I can open up to a page and read a few pages or go back, like you said, and highlight. But I do love my Audible. I think I probably have like 40 books in there. I have the monthly membership. And some of my favorites, Oprah's The Path Made Clear is a really good one that I've read somewhat recently. And I'm also reading Ask for More right now, and I finished Everything is Figure Outable, which that one would have been really nice to have the actual book because it's got a lot of, I think I can go to the website and pull worksheets, but she has you doing a lot of journaling and writing, and I need to go back to that piece. And then I'm reading Dave Hollis's Get Out of Your Own Way. Which is interesting because he and Rachel just announced that they're separating yesterday, which was big news and very interesting. So, but yeah, I have 2 hours left of his book. So,
Cool. So what's the difference for you? I don't know, something about the Audible books. I don't know. I like the idea, but I just haven't quite ever developed that habit. I walk 4 to 6 miles a day, so it probably would be beneficial to me to do that, but I just haven't quite done it.
yeah, I listen while I'm either walking or when I was driving to work, even though it was only a 10 to 20-minute drive there and back, or any other time if I'm going to the grocery or wherever I am in the car, I typically listen to a book and not the radio. And when I'm getting ready, when I'm washing dishes, if I'm not watching a show when I'm doing laundry, then if I'm by myself, I'll listen to a book. But usually I save all the laundry folding to my time with my husband when he wants to watch a show. And then I feel like I still am getting something done, but yet I'm also fulfilling his need of being with him and watching a show, which is what he wants to do. But I can't sit still. That's like my biggest, I guess, thing I need to work on is sitting still.
Mhm.
I have to always be doing something if I'm sitting.
Yeah.
So Lanil, did you have any questions you wanted to ask? No?
No, I mean, Ashley knows I work with her, or not with her, but I also work for UK. I started out with T25 probably about 2014, and was actually 60 pounds lighter than I am now. But I also moved to Kentucky in the meantime and worked full-time and part-time. I worked full-time at the VA, and then I work part-time for UK. And actually I've had about 10 people since I've been on this call. Now that UK is kind of opening up a little bit more, they're begging me to come in and work for them in the end of this month in July. I'm kind of doing the same thing Ashley's doing. I'm doing Shaun T week right now, and then I'm going to start the new Megan Davies next. I do try to meal prep on Sundays because I'm usually always off on Sundays. And I've done better. My biggest downfall is Reese cups. And I get bored. I get bored at the VA. And my child, I'm ready to beat him right now.
Well, Lanil, we'll have to have you on one of these calls soon so that you can give us your full story and tell us what you're up to.
Lanil, have you tried the beach bars yet?
I order them, and I also like Quest bars too. I like the beach bars better because they're less calories.
Yeah.
But the Quest bars actually have more protein in them.
Okay.
But
yeah,
my job at the VA is just so sedentary, and I've gotten all kinds of free stuff for being a nurse. I just got a pair of Brooks. So now I'm running. I'm on like week 3 or week 4 of Couch to 5K. So I'm going to run some 5Ks with Ashley, as a matter of fact.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think September 6th is the first one I'm going to run.
Sweet.
Which I used to run a lot in high school. I used to run 5 to 6 miles a day in high school, but that was almost 30 years ago.
I've never been a runner. I always said I couldn't run because I couldn't keep a pace. But now my dog helps me, and my daughter. She's my 7-year-old. We've been running, and she wants to run a mile in 15 minutes. So today we did it in 16:30.
Yeah.
So
well, now that my son's up here, he likes to run. He's put on, he graduated from Florida, from not the University of Florida, but high school in Florida a couple of weeks ago. And he's put on quarantine weight. So he likes to go to Planet Fitness. I'm trying to ease him into the Beachbody stuff, which right now my basement is full of his stuff because he hasn't completely emptied everything out. But I've got to get on there in a minute and make room to get my workout in today and my run. But so he's a big motivator, but he wants to go to Planet Fitness.
You should try to get him to do the work.
Yeah, because he can take Beachbody with him to Planet Fitness.
Oh yeah, and that's what I used to when he plays football. Hopefully he's going to get to play football. He's going to UK. He's starting at UK in the fall.
Nice.
And he's going to try to walk on for football.
Awesome.
Yeah. So he's excited about that. So he's really got to get in shape. But he would go to Planet Fitness and work out, and I would go upstairs and do the Beachbody stuff. Like I did 21 Day Fix several times the whole time he was here. My biggest downfall is being bored at work and the food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. The sedentary thing is definitely something to yeah. It's not easy.
Well, which what I was going to say earlier is one of the free things I got was a 36-ounce bottle from Live Infinity. And like I have to fill it up 3 times, which I filled it up yesterday and drank Coke Zero all day, but didn't drink the water. It's sitting right there on my desk, but it's a mindset and it's a habit. And I was in a really good habit. Then I went to Florida for a week and had all the graduation stuff going on and snuck a workout in here and there. But then like Ashley knows, some days I do like 2 or 3 workouts a day because I'm off on those days. And I'm a night shift person, but I'm better on days as far as work because I know your body needs to sleep at night, but I'm still trying to, like I've even put, and Ashley knows this, I've even put my alarm clock in my bathroom and I just get up and turn it off for like, cause I need to get up at 4:30. on the
Mhm.
especially on the days I work at UK, because we have to be there at 7, and I'm one of those people that I like to be early, so
Mhm,
I want to be there by 6:30.
mhm.
Yeah. Autumn has a worksheet. I'll have to pull it and send it to you for that mindset of thinking, what can I do? And when I get in those situations, what do I need to think about to not do what I know I shouldn't do? And what can I do instead? So I'll send you that. But our Zoom call is getting ready to hang up on us.
Okay.
So Candace, it was so good to get to know you better. And I'm so excited. We are in the Dream Team Olympics together. That's where we saw each other last week. And so we'll see each other more through that group. And I look forward to meeting you in person sometime soon,
Yes,
whether it's on one of the free trips that we can earn or at a leadership conference or at one of our team retreats.
absolutely. Laniel, great to meet you, and thanks
You
for
too.
coming in. Thanks, Ashley. This has been great.
Thank you.
Alrighty.